Welcome viewers, this is Danny from Lego Buff Productions, here with the first episode of Road to BrickWorld. In this new series, I'll be covering all of the progress made on this massive Ryloth collaboration that will be brought to BrickWorld Chicago this year, and that's in just about 2 weeks now. So we're really looking forward to it. We have a lot to show you guys, so I'll be covering all of the progress I've made. I'll have some older clips too showing some of the planning, and I'll also just show the general layout of the mock and any progress you make. I'll have some new episodes coming out every few days, so it could be every other day or every 2 days or 3 days. It just depends on how fast the progress goes. So without further ado, let's jump right in. And then in the back here we have the large L-shaped building, which Chris will be building with the trolley cargo transporter thing.
The entrance to the Cantina is ground level, but the exit to the landing pad is off the ground. I think that'd be cool, but that might be too much. I don't know.
Now what you see here is part of the main astromech droid factory, which will be featured in the front of the mock. So if I zoom out a little bit, you can see this is kind of the front area. And so this is elevated because you see that the droids have to go underneath. This is the conveyor belt, and it is working. So I do have to work around the power functions, move it to the side a little bit, but I just kind of built the general structure. So you can see here, I actually built it in one of the builder streams. And of course it won't be sagging here in the middle. I will probably be putting a third wheel, possibly a fourth wheel in here just so it doesn't sag a little bit right here. And then the ground will be built up so you don't see this bottom part. You'll only see the top part of the conveyor belt. And it's really fast right now. I have to make a gear ratio to make it smaller. But just to let you guys see how it will kind of look. Again, this is very sped up, but this is what the final product will somewhat look like. So there you can see the motor moves. Again, they're going super fast. There will be a lot slower. It's hard to kind of imagine it right now, how slow it will be with the speed it currently is at. But you'll see the droids will come up, and go down. We might have some arms going in and out. We're still trying to figure out if that's going to be possible or not yet. But that's going to be part of the main factory right here. And then again, if I zoom out a little bit, in the front here, there will be kind of a little workshop for maybe painting the heads or working on some other parts of the astromech droids. And then the ground will slope up and the factory will kind of move up a little bit, and there'll be more people working up here. Now again, this is just the front factory. There will be a total of 3 industrial buildings, this being the first one in the front corner of the kind of left side of the mock. Now to give you a general overview of the mock, here we have the far left corner of the mock, as you can see. And that's, again, where the main astromech droid factory will be, with the front kind of being a little workshop, the back will have the conveyor belt, and then there'll be maybe a little bit more room in the back there. And then all the way behind it, if you can see, there's a railroad track there. Behind the railroad track, there will be a large L-shaped building, which Chris Productions will be bringing. I'm building the astromech droid factory you saw here. Chris Productions will be bringing that large L-shaped building. That will be kind of the control center and some other information stuff in that main building in the industrial sector. And then there'll be a trolley running that will be carrying crates of astromech droids from the industrial side to the landing pad, which, as I zoom back out, will kind of move along this way. And there you can see the track keeps running and running, and then finishes off through the industrial sector. And then over here, you'll see there's a little area right here. That'll be another industrial building, which 501st Lego Trooper will be building. That'll be going right here. And then in the back there'll be some sort of gazebo or depot or port, if you want to call it that, even though it's not on water, where all the crates will arrive. The railroad tracks will go there. That's where they'll drop off all the crates. And then if we keep coming along, you'll see that large dark bluish gray 2x4 structure, and that is where the Tantive 4 will be. So the rebels will be picking up a bunch of crates of astromech droids, maybe a few other supplies from the Twi'leks on Ryloth, and the Tantive 4 will be right there on a large landing pad, which Lego Spencer will be building. So he'll be building a large landing pad, I'll be building the depot. And then if we keep going, we slowly transition into the residential sector all the way over here. So you see there is a little portion kind of right here. This is where a refueling station will be, which Anders or Alclone Productions will be building. That'll be going right here, kind of on the landing pad almost. And then there will be a cantina, which kind of splits up the industrial side from the residential side in combination with the landing pad. That's kind of the dividing line. And Lego Spencer will be building the Cantina. That will go right here. And then from there, we'll just have a bunch of huts, many houses for all the Twi'leks to live in. And that's where you see the ATST down there. And the Imperial troops, the Stormtroopers, will be invading from this side. So you see, I have 2 complete ATSTs and 1 almost complete one. We might only be using 2, not sure if we're going to go for the 3rd yet, but they are pretty large, so we'll probably just stick with 2. And those will go in this sector, invading, kind of kicking the Twi'leks out, trying to get over here to stop the rebels from picking up the cargo. So that is the main outlay, kind of the outlay of the mock. In the residential area, each person in the collaboration, so 501st Lego Trooper, Alcrone Productions, Chris Productions, myself, and Lego Spencer will all be bringing 2 buildings, that's the plan right now, to put in the residential area to populate it, and then I'll show you who the minifigs will, what minifigs will populate the area in just a little bit. We have some awesome Twi'leks to show you guys. So now we're in the back of the industrial area, and you can see here's the railroad track, which will transport the crates of astromech droids will be moving. And so what we're going to do here, it's going to be a very cool design. As you can see, the railway starts in the back and goes all the way up to there. The problem is the ground is going to be elevated. So this height of this conveyor belt right here will be the new ground level. So the ground will be raised up to this ground level. Now the reason the track is going to be on the ground is because above ground we don't want the track to be 6 wide, we want it to be 4 wide. So just seems too wide for just a small little transporter to transport crates. So instead we'll be using these rails right here. I have a bunch of these in dark bluish gray, you can see. So we'll be using these to put the train on. Now the reason we have these rails on is because we want to motorize the train. But here we ran into another problem, because how are you going to make something go back and forth? Because with power functions you could easily just turn it on and the motor would make it go. And if it was in a loop it would just go in the circle. However, if we need to go here, stop, and then come back. And we don't want to have someone with the power functions controller manually do that every single time. So we couldn't think of a way to do it with power functions, so instead we'll be using Mindstorms, which I have not used in a long time. So I'm very happy to be using again. I do have the NXT 2.0, so not the newest one, but this one will still work nonetheless. And basically the computer unit will be in the back, again under this giant industrial building that will be right here. And we'll be using 2 of these touch sensors right here. So the cool thing about these, you can see this is what they look like. It'll focus there. So basically the touch part is right here. That orange part just goes in and out. We'll get a better look at that. There we go, it's better. So the orange part just goes in and out, and so basically when something touches it, it'll tell the computer something's touching me, and then it'll tell it to do another part of the Mindstorms to do something else. So what we're going to have is this motor right here will be running on these rails. There we go. Get that more in focus for you. So this motor will be running on the rails, back and forth. You know, this part spins, and this is all again below ground. So ground level is up here, and then once the motor hits the touch sensor, once that goes in, this will bring a signal to the main computer part telling it reverse. So the motor will go this way, then it'll know to reverse, and then it'll go backwards on the rails till it hits the other touch sensor. So you have 2 touch sensors on each side, and then once the motor hits each one, it just reverses its motion. So that way it'll keep going back and forth and it'll run the whole time, which is awesome. And I've had enough time this past weekend to design the entire unit, the train thing. So again, that track will be there. I'm just moving it to bring in the train, which is right here. And this is what it'll look like kind of above ground. And then you can see there's that black bar that's below it that'll connect to the Mindstorms motor. So here you can see this is what the train looks like. I'm very proud of it, how it looks. The only thing I'm kind of so-so on is this crane car, which will transport the crates. There you can see that's what it looks like. I'm not too satisfied with it right now. Might make a few more changes. I'm very satisfied with the crane though. It can go all the way down, pick up a crate, bring it up, and then place it all the way in a car here, you know. And you can move it in a bunch of different poses. This part can move too, it's articulated right there. And then these train cars, I'm a huge fan of too. Again, this is all custom designed. So you can see there's a better look at these. And these will be transporting, again, the crates of the astromech droids. So very excited to use these. I'm just missing, I think, 2 more parts that I have to find in my collection to put on this one that go on each ends. But other than that, it's pretty much all set up. So I'm very, very excited to have this whole thing kind of going back and forth in the mock. It's going to be really awesome. It will look phenomenal once it's motorized, you know, at the convention, you know, just going back and forth. So very excited to do that, and hopefully by next update there'll be some more Mindstorms integration. Those rails will be permanently set up in here, and we'll have a more better picture of what that's going to look like. So that does it for this episode of Road to BrickWorld. Now again, there will be another one in the coming days here, so definitely stay tuned to my channel and leave any suggestions or comments about anything you saw here. If you thought anything should be changed or design should be different or something would work better if it was this way, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happy to check them out. My main goal for next episode is to get this whole Lego room cleaned up, especially over here. It turned into a disaster zone as I was building. I just kind of took out all of my bins, spilled out parts just so I could find the stuff I was looking for to build that train over there. So my goal for next episode will be to get rid of all these bins, take out all those sets, put them on the shelves over here, and then clean up all those bins on the other side and really start to make progress. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my channel for other awesome Lego videos, and have a great day.